Welcome to North Carolina's Haunted History. This list of 10 is part of a playlist of gentle listening spooky collections from across the USA. The screen fades to black so you can enjoy the stories without distractions if relaxing or studying. Please do consider a like and subscribe if you enjoy this type of content. First is the Devil's Tramping Ground in Bear Creek. Within a forest near Siler City, the Devil's Tramping Ground is a perfect 40-foot barren circle, a patch of earth so devoid of life that no plant, weed or tree takes root. For over a century, locals have said that this spot is exactly where the devil himself paces at night, thinking up his next round of mischief and chaos. Legend has it that items placed in the circle vanish overnight. Rocks, toys, even heavy stones are reportedly thrown out by unseen hands. Animals, particularly dogs, avoid entering. They'll whimper or refuse to enter the circle. In the 1920s, sightings of glowing red eyes were reported, and campers who stayed overnight claimed they heard phantom footsteps circling their tents. Some woke to find their gear disturbingly rearranged or missing. Though scientific explanations suggest how the soil's composition might stop growth, no test can fully account for the local folklore and persistent reports of supernatural activity. At number 2 were the Brown Mountain Lights in Linville Gorge. A centuries-old mystery, the Brown Mountain Lights have baffled observers since at least the early 1800s. Rising above Linville Gorge, a series of flickering orbs of red, blue and amber dance above the mountain, shifting in size and brightness. Native American legend ties the lights to the spirits of maidens, searching for lost loved ones after ancient battles, while modern folklore speculates UFOs or ghostly travellers. Scientific investigations, including a 1922 USGS study, concluded that the lights are car headlights refracted by atmospheric layers, yet sightings persisted even after roadways were rerouted. For number 3 we have the Grove Park Inn in Asheville. Built high on Sunset Mountain in 1913, the luxurious Grove Park Inn has always drawn guests because of its scenic beauty, along with rumours of ghostly inhabitants. The most famous spirit is the Pink Lady, who is believed to have been a guest in the 1920s. She tragically fell to her death from the 5th floor balcony. Staff and guests have claimed to see a rosy fog drifting through halls, felt light footsteps near vacant rooms, or have glimpsed the woman in a pink evening gown wandering through the corridors. Some report gentle breezes or the soft hum of a distant lullaby, though no source can be found. Local lore also speaks of children's laughter heard beneath the balcony. The Pink Lady's story has become ingrained in the Asheville experience. At spot number 4 is Cape Hatteras Lighthouse on the Outer Banks. Standing as the tallest brick lighthouse in North America, Cape Hatteras has unwittingly become a beacon for paranormal visits. The most persistent legend involves the 1921 wreck of the Carol A. Deering, dubbed the Ghost Ship, which ran ashore near the lighthouse. The crew mysteriously vanished, but its cargo was untouched, and the whole scene was as though dinner was paused mid-meal. Since then, mysterious lights have been seen flickering at the top of the lighthouse, and some visitors claim to hear chains clinking or see shadowy figures walking up the spiral stairway late at night. A ghostly black and white cat is also said to prowl the grounds, a familiar maritime omen. Mariners and locals have reported sudden drops in temperature and the distant echo of foghorns, even when the beacon is switched off. Though many sightings are anecdotal, the lighthouse's remote location, history of the shipwreck and spectral lore combine to create a deeply atmospheric haunt. Halfway through our list is Lydia's Bridge in Jamestown near Greensboro. This one is North Carolina's version of a phantom hitchhiker. Lydia's Bridge crosses US Highway 70A near Jamestown, and the legend centers on Lydia, or sometimes a woman called Annie C. Johnson, a young woman who died tragically in a car accident when she was returning from a dance in the 1920s. Drivers report picking up a tearful young woman in white who disappears from the back seat when they reach her suggested stop. Her name, Lydia, often appears and disappears from cars' GPS systems, which is quite the twist. And then her address leads to nowhere. Locals have documented 11 versions of the tale, yet each does say that the ghostly woman is real enough looking to terrify unsuspecting drivers. Skeptics point to accident records, but no definitive proof has been found. The legend thrives on testimony and local lore, making Lydia's ghost one of the most persistent and chilling of the type. At number 6 is the Old Davis Hospital in Statesville. The now demolished Old Davis Hospital in Statesville was once notorious for its unnatural cold, oppressive atmosphere and localised dread, especially in the old paediatric ward. Though it didn't operate for long, beginning in the 1960s, it cared for countless patients, some terminally ill. After abandonment, explorers reported unnatural drops in temperature even in the strong summer heat, persistent echoing cries of babies, and the feeling of unseen watchers. It was torn down in 2021, but its stories survive through former staff, urban explorers and local legends, painting an unsettling picture of plenty of sorrowful, residual energy. It may be somewhere to visit with the idea that just because somewhere has been torn down, it doesn't mean everything's gone, is at peace, and sorted out. Who knows, the spot might be worth a visit. For number 7 we have the Ashe County Hospital in Jefferson. Originally a hospital from 1939, then later county offices and now an assisted living facility, the old Ashe County Hospital has long been considered a spine-chilling haunt. Teenagers trespassing in the 1990s told stories of the elevators making familiar dinging sounds, despite the power being turned off, of flickering lights, looming shadow figures in abandoned wards, and screams echoing through the corridors late at night. Several former staff and new residents of the assisted living area report hearing disembodied footsteps, feeling cold spots, and sensing a presence just beyond sight. Despite modernisation, the hospital retains an unsettling energy. Its layered history of illness, death and neglect do mark it strongly as a haunted institution. At number 8 is the Chowan College Brown Lady in Murfreesboro. The earliest building at Chowan University dates to the Civil War era and is haunted by the Brown Lady, a woman in a plain brown dress. Legend holds she was a young bride-to-be whose fiancé died in military service, and she followed him in death shortly afterwards. Witnesses include students, faculty and visitors who report seeing her gliding through the candlelit halls, catching glimpses of her sorrowful silhouette. Others hear soft sobs in empty classrooms or the faint rustle of a dress. Though her identity remains unconfirmed, her backstory has become campus lore, which serves both as a spectral warning and a memorial to lost love. Number 9 is about the demon dog of Valley Crucis. In the rural valley of the Cross, near Valley Crucis, stands St. John's Episcopal Church, where legend speaks of a hellish demon dog that tore out the throats of locals in 1862. Revered by a fiery minister who equated the creature to Satan incarnate, the beast became an emblem of sin and punishment. Farmers swore they found mangled livestock or heard unearthly howls near dusk. Since then, children have been warned to stay indoors in case the demon dog drags them away. Modern witnesses claim to hear clawing at church doors or see glowing eyes near the graveyard, leaving suspicion that the spectral demon dog still stalks the night. Finally, we have Settles Bridge in Rockingham County. Crossing the Dan River, Settles Bridge was built in the 1920s over an original historic covered bridge. A commissioner had forced through a road paving law that led to the bridge's construction. Afterwards, locals heard whispered conversations near the old crossing, faint whistling along the riverbanks, and footsteps in the night, even after the original bridge was demolished. Witnesses still report a pale figure waving, then disappearing into the mist. Some attribute the haunting to the betrayal of Judge Thomas Settle, or to the souls of those who drowned nearby. Though original records are scant, the eerie ambience and reported apparitions maintain the bridge's haunted legend. Thank you for joining me on this little journey. From haunted bridges to a devilish circle, North Carolina has some varied tales from within the state. I hope you'll be around for the next one.